Testing. Except for I unplugged things and didn't plug them back in right, apparently. Careful, Lydia. Be careful, Lydia. I know, I'm hoping. I mean, it is turned on. It's just I plugged something in wrong. Clearly. Pink tape. Yep, that's not right. Excuse me. Testing. Hey, it works.
And then there's this.
That should be on. Band kids should put away their stands. So says Miss Holman.
No, we're not dealing with this right now. No. Usually when you tap it, I was playing and I wasn't getting any sound. Usually when you do this, you'll hear it popping.
Well, that's really bad for the speakers. Just so you know.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying even when you like hook it in and stuff like that. But
oh, I'm so in your way.
my point is, I don't think.
I unmuted it though. Well, I will trade you because this one does work.
Okay, can you bring that back when you know it's going? Thanks.
I know we're still in the process of putting a few of the items away from the concert, but students, if you could make your way towards the chairs, families as well. We'll try to get this started as soon as possible. This is the 1 minute warning. 1 minute. Okay, folks, thanks for the fast transition from the concert to our ceremony here. Students, thanks for the wonderful concert and using your gifts to your absolute best ability. That was very nice. I'd like to formally welcome you all to our 2021 Fall Awards Ceremony. My name is Mike Haugley. I get to serve our school as athletic director. This evening, we'll be recognizing the activities of oral interp, football, volleyball, and cross country. And before we talk about them, Mr. Bauer has a short slideshow about some of the participants. Hold on one second. The computer decided to restart. So we'll get back to that in just a second. So we'll go on to a couple remarks from myself, then we'll go back to the video, and then we'll get to our coaches. This evening, I would first of all like to say several quick thank yous as a general from the athletic director. Some of these may be repeated by the coaches, I'm sure. I would like to start with all the parents, whether you're here or whether you're watching online. Throughout the whole fall, I would like to just thank you for, first of all, choosing our school. Thank you for valuing Christian education and what we get to do here in the ministry of GPL. Thank you for partnering with us during your children's high school years. They're very crucial years to their development, and for these young men and women to be in a Christian environment where they get to see Christ through different aspects, whether that's in class, through chapel, through the activities that we're going to recognize this evening. It's one of the greatest privileges we get to have at this school, and so thank you for trusting us with that responsibility and for partnering with us in your children's education. Thank you to our coaches, several of whom you're going to hear today. Thank you for the countless hours in preparation, analysis, and instruction that you give to our student athletes. Thank you also to the spouses and the children of our coaches. Thank you for sharing your dad or mom with us so that they could be with our student athletes. Also, thank you to all the assistant coaches that work behind the scenes so very hard to do everything that they can to help the team succeed in any aspect. Thank you to our student athletes for all the time and dedication that you put into this fall. You chose to do these extra responsibilities that come along with being a student athlete. Taking care of the things in the classroom so that we can be eligible to do the sports, for practicing hard and learning your roles and the different things that come along with your activities, for supporting your teammates, encouraging them along the way, all the things that are part of being in an activity. And I pray that throughout the fall you were enriched in the things that you were able to do, and as you look back on it now, I hope you can see what a blessing that was. It looks like we might be ready, so I'll yield to Mr. Bauer's video now. Indeed, it was a very successful fall activity for all of our different groups involved, and we'll hear a lot about that as we go throughout our presentation. Last thing from me, just an overview of some of the different types of awards that you're going to hear about, whether this is your first time attending one of these or not. You're going to hear certain awards for lettering. For every type of activity, there is a criteria that is to be met, usually involving varsity competition that goes along with the lettering criteria. If a student is involved in the activity and they don't meet the lettering criteria, they will receive a participation award for that. You'll also hear rather regular awards like the most improved performer, or maybe the most valuable performer for various activities and things like that. And that's rather straightforward. But I just want to take a moment to mention one of the more unique ones at our school, and that is the Panther Award. And that's unique because obviously it bears our mascot's name, but I have a couple remarks about the Panther Award that I would like to share with you this afternoon. The Panther Award is our most esteemed award we give. The recipient of the Panther Award is an individual who best personifies a saying that we have in GPL activities, and that is the Panther Way. This award is not necessarily based on God-given talent, although the recipient certainly may possess talent, a high level of talent as well. But instead, this person is a tremendous teammate. They lead through their words and actions. They lift up teammates when they are down. They cheer for the success of others as much or even more than their own success. This person is truly a role model for others to follow through their tremendous Christian character. So you'll hear at least one individual receive the Panther Award as we go throughout the different types of activities. So that's the comments from myself. I would like to turn our attention now to our first activity, and that's going to be cross country. This season, our girls and boys cross country teams were in a very different spot. Our ladies were returning most of their runners on a team that saw tremendous success last year, while the boys' team nearly graduated all of the team. So new runners were needed to fill the positions. To hear about their season, please welcome Pastor Nelson and Miss Ron.
We may have to move that down for you. Anyway, we'll be quick. Cross-country team, stand up. Give them a round of applause. They're all over the place. There's another one that's standing out there. Our manager, give him a round of applause. Hit the chairs. We had a lot of ice cream this year. One of them was earned by someone who learned that when you run and when you walk, it's heel first and then your toe, and you push off. Now, who would that have been? Is he here? Is Landon here? Oh, Landon, could you please stand up? How did you earn us ice cream that one day? Yes, you can sit down now. We know who you are. So if you saw him walking, for better lack of a term, like a dork for an entire day, that was the assignment that his coach gave him. And if you watch the pictures on the slides, that we could tell that that was an early picture of him because he was running up on his toes. By the end of the year, it was heel toe. Everybody improved. That was a wonderful improvement. So on the guys' side, I'd never seen any of them run before. A whole new crew. Not all freshmen, one transfer. We had a couple of cross-country runners bail on us, but that was okay. They ended up spending time getting ready for football, and in another case, we had one who was getting ready for basketball. So we got room on the guys' side for some more runners for next year. So if you want to run, don't feel like it's out of the way and that you can't do it. There's another one I'm going to call out real quick. Dominic, where are you? Oh, could you stand up? Do you remember what you said the first time you looked down at the bowl and looked at the whole 400 meters you were going to have to run? You said that was a long ways, right? And by the end of the year, instead of doing just 400 meters, you were doing 5K. So thank you for doing that. You can hit the deck. You can hit the deck. The guys did wonderful. The guys did well. They did well beyond my expectations, but not beyond their expectations. They are looking forward to having a great year next year. And like I said, if you want to come and run with us, feel free to come and join us. It'll be a good time. Just a couple of quick things. We're going to call out some letter winners here. Seth, can you stand if you're here? Aha, there he is. You blended in with the blue on the bleacher so nicely. You can stay standing. Isaiah. Dominic. Kale. There he is, way up there. My goodness. Aspiring to new heights. And Thad, you want to stand up too? Those are our letter winners for the boys' side. Give them a round of applause. Stay standing for just a second because we got to add a few to that. Tyler, you want to stand up? I think we had you come up and run varsity once, right? And you instantly said 3K was easier than 5K. Yeah, but you did fine. And Landon, we're going to have you stand up again. Give that whole team a round of applause. Guys, come and run with us next year. You'll find out that it's enjoyable, in spite of what you think. So I'm going to turn it over to Coach Ron. She's going to talk about the girls' side for a little bit. Just pull it out of there.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. I know what some of you are thinking. Cross-country people are crazy, right? Yeah, I knew that's what you were thinking. And it's true. And if you're not crazy when you start, you will be by the time you're done, because you're running 5K as fast as you can. That's, minimum 18 minutes. It's hard. But I love cross country because it teaches you to work hard even when you think you can't, to go beyond what you thought you could. And I think it's a sport unlike any other because it plays to your character. And every single cross country runner has stronger character because of it and has made my life and Coach Nelson's lives more richer and more enjoyable. So thank you, all of them. Now, I am not one to make people embarrassed, I think. So I will only have you guys stand up one time. So the following people are on the girls' team, those who lettered. Holly. Still stand up, please. Thank you. Taylor. Katie. Daria. Emma. Hannah. These girls were a part of the team that went to state as the A2. Not A2. Yeah, A2. No, what do you call it? 2A. Okay. For the in Sioux Falls this year, and they all did really amazing. And Hannah was pulled up. She was like, I can't do it, but she did it. And Emma was like, I'm sick, I won't do it, but she did it. She did it great. They all did amazing, and they're all really amazing to watch. So give them a round of applause, and don't sit down. The rest of our team, would you please stand up? Emma Newman, Cassie Konzenbach, Chloe Wolf, Naomi Hoff. These girls are just as much fun to watch because you never know what's going to happen. Every race is a little bit different. And something that I think, you might not realize how amazing this is, but not one time, I'm pretty sure, don't correct me if I'm wrong, okay, nobody walked a single race, not even the first race. I think that's pretty amazing. Nobody tried to kill the coaches for making them do 7Ks repeats on the hottest day of the year. All of them are very coachable and very encouraging to each other. So thank you, girls. You may sit down. Yeah. Now I'm going to introduce our Panther of the Year award for the girls. This goes to one of our chief leaders, one of our most encouraging, mature, well-rounded people that I know, who gets along with everyone and won the Panther Award hands down. Would Daria Poor please stand up? You can come here. It's the one with the ponytail, yeah. Ta-da.
You don't get to run, though. You got to stay here.
Okay. And then our MVP this year got 18th in state. That's not just in our class, that's everybody. And she not only is a fast runner, she's also probably, I think it's fair to say, the most hardworking person on the team as well. So, Hallie, would you come here, please? Oh, yeah, 8th in our class, 18th in all the classes. Good job. You can do it.
Okay, guys. The Panther Award. That was interesting. It was close. It was close. Could have went to a bunch of people. I think all of the guys were encouraging. All of the guys helped each other out. Some screamed a little louder than others. Some ran a little faster than others. But I think everybody likes how it turned out. Panther Award. Dominic. What? That's what you like to see when they don't expect it. What? What? The boys' MVP is certifiably nuts, okay? Even after cross country, even when the weather was not quite so good, insisted on going out and putting in some miles. Thad, come on up. We got a few more years with him. He's only a freshman. And it was wonderful watching the freshman and our transfer Kale come together and learn not just how to run, but learn how to race and learn how to compete. So we're looking forward to it again next year. Kale, you missed state by, what, about 25 seconds, I think it was? You were right there on the bubble, too. Next year, we're getting some guys to state to go with the girls. How about the whole team just stand up? We'll give everybody a big hand, and I'm done. Thank you, Mr. Sell. All right, we're done. And we're going to put the participation awards and the letter awards in Coach Ron's room.
All right, these four are going to be the trendsetters. Thad, don't sit down. Dominic, don't sit down. If you get a trophy or a plaque, some of the sports will be giving out plaques. We're going to take a group picture. And then at the end of everything, we'll take a group picture of everyone from all four activities that wins a plaque or a trophy. So thanks for being the trendsetters, you guys. Eric will get a good picture. Our next activity we are going to talk about this evening, this afternoon, whatever it still is football. If there ever was a sport where age, maturity, and strength play a huge role, it's obviously going to be football. Our Panthers this year put on quite a show, proving how hard work and dedication on the field and in the weight room pay off. I'll repeat what I mentioned to many of you over the season. It's fun to watch a team full of grown men playing so well together. To share this season and the story of their successes, please welcome Coach Schleusner.
All right, thank you, Coach Haugley. I'll probably reiterate a lot of the things he just said. What a fun season 2021 was. I love what I get to do. It's such an awesome job. Such a rewarding opportunity to work with these amazing young men, teach them how to play this great sport, and also be able to use this position to help them grow as Christian leaders in this difficult world. The life lessons, the meaning of hard work, glorifying God with their talents, learning how to handle adversity and success in an environment filled with every emotional extreme are what make this such a valuable experience. Thank you, parents, for your support this season. Helping push these guys and putting the work in on the off season and always being their biggest fans during the season. Thank you for the faculty, staff, and students that work to provide the entire game experience, from taking tickets at the gate to cleaning up afterwards and everything in between. Thank you to Carolyn and Darren Holeen for providing the opportunity to ride in style a couple of times this season with a coach bus. Thank you to the Nelners for hosting team suppers again this year. And thank you to the York family for providing a team supper at the end of the season. I think the players at least want to give you guys a round of applause for that one. I want to thank my coaching staff that put in so much time during the season away from their families, helping me out and working with the guys. This year we were blessed to have Rod Nelner, who helped with just about every area of the team on all three levels. Jacob Burry, who coached the junior high and worked with the boys' offensive and defensive lines. Jason Bartels, who helped out with all three levels and coached special teams. Keith Moll, who coached the JV and worked with the receivers and linebackers. Darren Mack, who was the defensive coordinator and coached the running backs and defensive backs. We also had some volunteer coaches who made it to most of the practices while also being full-time students at LATC. Pierce Holeen, who did everything we asked of him and more, which often included a lot of running during certain drills. And Hunter Wagey, who really had no connection to Great Plains before stopping by at practice. But it only took him about a week, and he was already wearing GPL gear and coming to every practice after that. Thanks also to Aiden Holeen, who took time out of his busy summer to help out in the weight room, organize open field workouts, and help coach in many different ways during the fall football camp. If any of those coaches are here today, please stand up so we can thank you for your time and efforts. And if you're watching too, we'll clap for you guys. Thank you guys. All right, our season in review. First, our junior high program. Our junior high program was able to field a team again this year. This program is invaluable to the future of GPL football. They had another successful season, winning more games than they lost. I love that they get to play their games on Fridays before the varsity games, and they represented very well. JV, we were able to get 2 JV games this season, both against Florence Henry. This allowed for our younger guys to get some great experience at a little slower pace than what they see on Friday nights. And finally, varsity. They were on a mission last off-season. October 6th, 2017. Before this season, that's the date of the last win for a GPL varsity football team. The freshmen were 5th graders. and the seniors were 8th graders. Not one person on this team had been part of a Friday night victory. These guys worked so hard to change that script. All off-season shouts of encouragement could be heard in the weight room, including the phrase, "Remember Waverly," or "Beat Waverly," which they might disagree, which had less to do with the opponent and more to do with the missed opportunities and the lack of execution from the season before. Yes. But even with the added motivation, this team still had a lot of question marks. We had lost a lot of production on both sides of the ball, including almost all of our rushing and receiving yards on offense. If this team was going to have any success this season in the form of W's, a lot of guys were going to have to step up and be difference makers that didn't in the past. But that's exactly what we got. We had 3 guys who together had 0 yards rushing last season between the 3 of them. In this season, they combined for 1,380 yards rushing and 13 touchdowns behind an experienced offensive line that led the way. We had 4 guys, 2 of which had never played football before this season. The other 2 had 18 receiving yards between the 2 of them, combined for 774 receiving yards with 5 touchdowns this year. Defensively, going in, we felt good about 3 of the 9 defensive positions. After that, it was the same question. Who's going to step up? But just like they did on offense, they made huge strides on defense. The most impressive stat to me on the defensive side this season was tackles for loss. Last season, we had a 4-year high of 19 tackles for loss. But this season, we easily surpassed that number with a staggering 53 tackles for loss. All of these improvements that we saw amounted to the most successful season for GPL since 2016. Earning wins versus Sunshine Bible Academy at 41-8, Langford 36-14, and Waverly South Shore 51-16. We came perhaps 1 play short of making the playoffs this season, leaving a bit of a sour taste in our mouths, wishing for probably a little more. We didn't get that sticker up there like we wanted. But as much as that last loss hurts, I also appreciate the opportunity to have that feeling. I'm happy that we were able to send these 10 amazing seniors away knowing what success on Friday nights feel like and maybe a little validation for their hard work. But I'm also hopeful that this season makes the non-seniors even more hungry for what they couldn't accomplish this season. Keep working, boys. Okay, the best is yet to come. All right, next I'll introduce our football players and managers, starting with the youngest, and then I'll move on listing the letter winners and individual awards this season. I'm going to mention everybody. I know not everybody's here, but if you are here, please stand up. So we'll start with our junior high players. 7th graders Logan Bergen, Aiden Cameron, Holden Carley, Jeremiah Martins, and Braden Wentzloff, and we can stay standing throughout. Lucas Johnson and Jarrett Bauer were our 8th graders this year. Freshman Micah Holeen, Hayden Carley, Cohen Mole. Are we standing up yet? There we go. Brody Charleman, Dante Johansson, Grayson Lyons, and Austin Rubendahl. Sophomores Miles York, Jacob Bartels, Andrew Johnson, Thomas Erickson, Sawyer Johnson, Alex Heil, and Jasper Cody. Juniors R.J. Perry, Joseph Dahlberg, Roland DeVries, Parker Watkins, and Levi Holloway. Seniors Sam Hanson, Robbie Goins, Trent Lyon, Vince Knutson, Joe Erickson, Gavin Dornbush, John Abrahamson, Elijah Grams, Jackson Coles, and David Sell. Managers, senior Gianna Proya. Juniors, Brianna Cordell, Claire Marcus, and Nora Kratz. Let's give them a round of applause, guys. All right, you can take your seat. A lot of you will stand up again, but I'll do it a little quicker this time. Letter winners this season. Letter winners this season are those that contributed a significant amount of playing time on the offensive and defensive side of the ball at the varsity level and or participated all 4 years at Great Plains, or coaches felt was deserving of a letter this year, even if they didn't meet those requirements. So letter winners this year, stand up again, and I'll try to do these quickly. Sam Hanson, Robbie Goins, Trent Lyon, Vince Knutson, Joe Erickson, Gavin Dornbush, John Abrahamson, Elijah Grams, Jackson Coles, and David Sell. Juniors, R.J. Perry, Joseph Dahlberg, Roland DeVries, and Parker Watkins. Sophomores, Miles York, Jacob Bartels, Thomas Erickson, Alex Heil, and Jasper Cody. Freshmen, Micah Holeen, Cohen Mole, Brody Charleman, Dante Johansson, and Austin Rubendahl. And managers, Gianna Proya, Brianna Cordell, Claire Marcus, and Nora Kratz. Those are our letter winners this year. And as I keep naming your names, you can go ahead and keep standing up. For all conference this year, we had 3 guys mentioned. For all conference, R.J. Perry and Thomas Erickson received all conference, and David Sell received all conference honorable mention. Congratulations, guys. We had 6 academic all-state awards this season. That honor goes to seniors who have played in at least 3 seasons and hold cumulative GPA of 3.5 or higher. Congratulations to Vince Knutson, John Abrahamson, Elijah Grams, Robbie Goins, Jackson Coles, and Joseph Erickson on academic all-state. And now for our team awards. Our team awards this season are offensive and defensive MVP, most outstanding lineman, most improved player, and our highest awards are most valuable player and the Panther Award. The way I will do it is I will read what the award is, and I'm going to read who got that award right away, and then I'm going to keep talking about them, all right? And after I'm done talking about them, then I will say congratulations to, and then we can clap, and they can come up, and I can give you your thing, all right? Most improved player, we'll start with, goes to senior David Sell. Typically, most improved goes to a player that has improved from one season to the next. We made an exception for David, who, a senior, came out for football for the first time ever because he was running cross country. Sorry, Pastor Nelson. I had low expectations for David. Sorry, David. As I would for anyone who comes in as a senior that has never played football before. Needless to say, David surpassed my expectations. He started every game on both sides of the ball, as a tight end and as a defensive end. As a tight end, he caught a pass in every single game, finishing the season with 17 receptions, 333 receiving yards, which is 6th all-time at GPL, 1 touchdown, and 4 two-point conversions, and was a solid run blocker on the edge. Defensively, he developed into one of the best defensive ends I've ever coached, containing the outside on runs like he's been doing it for the last 4 years. David finished the year with 40 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, and 4 sacks. The 4 sacks is first in GPL for a season. David, what you accomplished in one season is a testament as to you as an athlete, as well as a person of high character. Congratulations, David, on winning Most Improved Player. Most outstanding lineman goes to junior R.J. Perry. R.J. has owned this award since he arrived here as a freshman, winning this for the third straight year in a row. R.J. was honorable mention all-conference last season, first team this season. The teams we've played know exactly who he is. R.J. makes his presence known versus every team that we play. There isn't a matchup that scares him. In fact, he embraces the opportunity to play against the best because he wants to show them that he's better. Congratulations, most outstanding lineman, R.J. Perry. Most outstanding offensive player goes to senior Sam Hanson. This is the second year in a row Sam has won this award, and for good reason. The offense was at its best when he was behind center. He struggled with injury and sickness, playing only 5 full games, but even with that, he matched and even surpassed some stats from last season, putting him into the record books for a number of categories. In the final game of the season versus Hitchcock-Tulare, he completed 11 passes for 255 yards, which placed 6th and 2nd for single-game records. He threw for 603 yards, which is 7th in a season, and 4 touchdowns. He ran for 121 yards with 3 rushing touchdowns, and for a career, he finished 3rd all-time in completions with 76 and 3rd all-time in yards with 1,225. Sam worked hard to get where he is today as an athlete, and he definitely made his mark here at GPL. Congratulations, Sam, on winning Most Outstanding Offensive Player. And I know he's not here today, so we'll just move on to the next one. Most Outstanding Defensive Player goes to senior Vince Knutson. Vince played football all 4 years. He came in as a freshman with no experience playing and probably not even any experience watching. Sorry, Vince. But it might be true. Every offseason, he worked to improve himself as a football player. And each season, he got a little bit better. His junior year, he got to see some playing time on defense, finishing the year with 4 tackles. He hit the weight room again right away in the offseason with the goal of making a bigger impact on the field as a senior. He came in this season and won the starting spot at one of the most important positions on defense, middle linebacker. Not only that, he grabbed a starting role on offense as well by earning the starting fullback position. And once he got those, he never gave them up. Vince was probably the most reliable and durable player on the team this year. He finished the year with 56 tackles from 4 the year before, 1 sack and 9 tackles for loss, 303 rushing yards, 3 touchdown runs, and 1 2-point conversion. He's one of many examples of seniors on this team where you can honestly say hard work paid off. Congratulations, Vince Knutson, on Most Outstanding Defensive Player. All right, that leaves us to the last 2 awards. Most Valuable Player. The Most Valuable Player award goes to sophomore Thomas Erickson and junior R.J. Perry. I talked some already about R.J., but I can say so much more. On the offensive side of the ball, he was a big reason why we were able to rush for over 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns and gave our quarterbacks enough time for nearly 1,000 yards. He recorded 24 pancake blocks on the year, and if you're not sure what that is, that means he knocked the other guy over. On the defensive side, he finished with 24 tackles, over half of which were tackles for loss. We get one more year with him, thankfully, and 2 more with co-MVP Thomas. Thomas was a wide receiver last year as a freshman and won the starting running back role in football camp. He made his presence known this season, rushing 105 times for 814 yards and 8 touchdowns. Those last 2 stats earning him first all-time in a season at GPL for both of those categories. He also had 2 standout games statistically, rushing for 180 yards versus Langford, placing him first all-time in a game for rushing yards, until he beat his own record later that year with 183 rushing yards versus Northwestern. Defensively, Thomas was all over the field. He's a fearless player and a sure tackler. With 38 tackles and 3 interceptions, Thomas helped lead a young defensive backfield to a successful season. Throw in a kickoff return for touchdown, and it's easy to see why Thomas earned himself an MVP this season. Congratulations to Thomas and RJ on Most Valuable Player Award. And finally, the Panther Award. The Panther Award is someone who used his talents to the fullest and exemplified his Savior's love in his play, words, and action, someone who demonstrates Christian leadership skills throughout the season on and off the field. The Panther Award this year goes to Trent Lyon. This was almost a unanimous vote by the players and well-deserved. Trent has been a model leader on and off the football field. He led by example, always putting in the extra work in practice, picking up equipment after practice, making sure the locker room was clean. He also led by pushing his teammates to be the best that they can be by organizing position meetings and working with the young guys during his free time. Basically a coach on the field. I could easily see coaching in Trent's future if he ever wanted to do that. It's been a great 4 years with Trent's leadership on the team. Congratulations, Trent, on winning the Panther Award. And if I could get any of those seniors that are here, just please stand up one more time. And I want to thank you for your hard work, your efforts, you leading this group. You left an impression on everyone that knows you here at GPL. You left an impression on the football team, and whatever success happens later on, even though you're not there, you're a huge part of that. All right? Nice job, seniors.
Football award winners, let's make our way over there for the picture. And while I have it on my mind, students, if this is your first letter that you are receiving here at GPL, one other thing comes along with the certificate and the pin, and that is the GP cloth chenille, the thing that goes on your letter jacket. So if you are getting your first letter this evening, go talk to Mrs. Hesford tomorrow, hopefully you can remember, and we'll hook you up with one of those. Our next activity that we are going to talk about is oral interp. The most recent team to conclude their season is the oral interp team, having just wrapped up state competition this weekend. As you can see from some of the pictures, their necks might be a little bit sore today, considering the haul of the awards that they earned throughout the season. Please welcome their director, Mr. Martins. And Mrs. Yeager.
In oral interp, if you have 10 minutes to get it all said, with a 30-second grace period. Not sure I'm going to make that. Right, Olivia? 30-second grace period. Very useful. Okay. A couple of things that I have to share with you and a couple of special awards to give. But before I do, couple of thank yous. First of all, a huge thank you, Mrs. Yeager, co-coaching, taking a lot on her plate, working with people. It's great to have her back. She did this a number of years ago, a couple years ago. It hasn't been that many, really. I keep forgetting. Yeah. So anyway, it was great to have Mrs. Yeager helping out with the team and just to bounce a couple of ideas off. It's always nice to have that individual. And a huge thank you to Bailey. Bailey graduated and still was a huge source of support for me and some great ideas, working with a couple students and helping get the team on the right direction. So please join me in thanking those individuals. There are some opportunities if you like to listen to people speak. We are occasionally looking for judges, and I would like to thank the following individuals, all served as judges. You'll hear in a moment. We had a very large team. It was wonderful. It was great. But anytime we travel, we have to have one judge per every 5 entry, and so we need people and to come along and listen and judge, rate, critique people. So talk to Mrs. Yeager or myself if you have any questions about that. But the following individuals served as judges for us: Miss Deering, Becky Schrader, Darian Rosenthal, Bailey Wolf, Amy Westlow, Mrs. Roloff, and Tyler Gones. So thank you to them for giving your time and traveling with the team and judging for us. A couple of points about the season. We had 26 students on the team. I'll introduce them in a moment. We had 32 entries, 6 duos, 6 humor, 4 oratory, 5 poetry, 3 readers theater, 4 serious, and 4 storytelling. It takes a lot of time. We practice with these individuals all individually, or the groups individually. So it was, again, nice to have other people that are willing to hear them and critique them. But a lot of the work, the bulk of the work, comes on the students on their own time. We don't come together for a few hours a day and work through things. They work on things on their own. They present it to us. We say, yeah, I don't like that. Come back with something different. And then they hopefully do. And so that's kind of the process that we have with practicing. So thank you, students, for your time throughout the season. We had a number of accomplishments, tons of individual successes, a couple of big things that really stood out to me on the season. This year, we moved up to Class A, as I think all of the athletics and everyone kind of moved around. But we moved up to Class A, and I wasn't really sure where we'd land. We've had some decent competition in the past, even in Class B, but they really got to work and went through their pieces. We went down to Sioux Falls, Washington. They have a Circle of Courage meet. 25 teams, I believe, were there. We received first place in Class A, and overall of the 25 teams, we received second place. So it was quite an accomplishment, and these are other teams like Sioux Falls, Jefferson, Washington, Lincoln, O'Gorman, Brookings, Rapid City, Stevens, Watertown, as well as Sioux Valley, T, and a handful of other Class A schools. So it was a significant accomplishment to be up against such stiff competition and for that team to really pull together in that way. So congratulations. And I'll say one more before we clap. I didn't really take the time or have the time to look up, but I'm really proud of the team coming together. We won the ECC Conference Championship again this year. It's been a few years now in a row, but we never take it for granted, and we always go in as prepared as we can. So thank you, students, for those accomplishments this year. I just jotted down a few things, and I'm just kind of going down. This is maybe not in the order that I was going to do it, but that's okay. But I don't want to forget, we have 2 4-year seniors on the team. We have 2 4-year seniors, and I would like for them to stand so we can thank them. Gianna and Jackson have been with the team for 4 years, pulling the team together, encouraging. So thank you to Gianna and Jackson for your 4 years in the Oral Interp team. I am now going to introduce the participants, and Mrs. Yeager is here to interject anything. Maybe after this. That's a good idea. Okay. I will introduce the oral interp participants, and then I will introduce the letter winners, but you can stand up as I say your name. Participating in oral interp this year, freshmen, I'll have my list of freshmen. You can stand up as I read your name and stay standing. Donna Abrahamson, Elena Bremer, Katie Dahlberg, Cassie Konzenbach, Anthony Noblock, Grayson Lyons, Cohen Moll, and Anna Rubendahl. Participating also, we have sophomore Alexis Goshi, Lydia Jarsik, Grace Powers, Sebastian Rosenthal, and Yevsara Wergesa. And juniors, Naomi Hoff and Claire Marcus. Receiving varsity letters, we're going to keep going. Receiving varsity letters in oral interp. Freshmen, Grace Jurgens and Karen Williams. Juniors, Haley Coles, Aiden Crowley, Emma Konzenbach, Nora Kratz, Kale Reiner, and Olivia Zanto. And receiving I just did this the whole weekend. Seniors, they know who they are. And seniors, John Abrahamson, Jackson Coles, and Gianna Proya. Congratulations. You can have a seat. This past weekend, state. I should talk about state. A number of things that we do. We work throughout the season. We went to 9 oral interp meets, and then we determined based on those scores individuals that will represent GPLHS at the region meet. Because we are Class A, we did not have districts. We only have a region meet. And we had 6 individuals represent the team at the region meet in 7 categories. And those individuals were in storytelling, Haley Coles, in oratory, Aiden Crowley, in readers theater, Haley Coles, Emma Konzenbach, Nora Kratz, and Olivia Zanto, in serious, Nora Kratz, in poetry, Olivia Zanto, and in humor, Jackson Coles and in duo, Jackson Coles and Nora Kratz. So they can stay standing for a moment, just because I didn't have them come up. You just never know. You move into a new region, and we were in a new region for me. Mrs. Yeager had been there before. And we went up to Aberdeen, took the team up there, and only a couple people out of the category advanced to the state competition. And this is how it's been, whether it's Class B or Class A. And I was so proud of the work that they did, the hard work, and they really just put it all out there on the line. And since it's been a few years, but we advanced all 7 entries out of the region and to the state meet, which only one other school did in Class A or B. So it was a huge accomplishment for these students. So congratulations. Let's clap for them. You can have a seat. I'm going to keep talking about you, but you'll remember who they are. So we go to the state meet, and it's a festival. There is no winning. But there are levels, I guess, of accomplishment. You can either not get a superior, or get a superior with distinction. And a superior with distinction is receiving a perfect ballot from the judges. And I don't know, because this just happened and I haven't gone through and combed through all of the results. But I am pretty confident in saying that I believe we are one of the only schools in the state, at least in Class A or B, that received 7 superior medals at the state competition, and 2 of those were superiors with distinction. So it really was an outstanding season, and it was great to see them rewarded at the state level in that way. So our superiors with distinction were Olivia Zanto in poetry. You can stand up. and Nora Kratz in serious reading. So congratulations. Also, because it's not a competition, there's not a first, second, third. Nora was the only superior with distinction, so I guess you could say she did win, and Olivia also, and our Readers Theater was the best ranked in Class A. But there is no winning, but I think we won. We did receive a Team Excellence Award, but I mean, so did other people, so that's great too. We do have 2 special awards. I'll wrap it up. Is there, you can, we'll go with. Right, so come on up here to Mrs. Yeager. Our MVP, this was voted on by the team, and looking at the points, it was not a surprise. This individual received multiple superiors throughout the season, started really strong, finished really strong with 3 superiors at state. Our MVP award winner is Nora Kratz. It has, our Panther Award winner has been an individual that has been involved with the team for a while, and he really brings a lot of excitement and unique perspective, part of it because of the category that he's in, but he has been a leader on the team, helping direct and coach some of the younger students and less experienced students in a way. Now he will be graduating and moving on from the oral interp team, but we really appreciate his contributions. Thank you. Our Panther Award winner is Jackson Coles. And one final note, I don't know the total number of medals. It's quite a few, but it's been a while, I think. Jackson is a 4-year, he has been to state for 4 years, and a couple of superior medals this year, and I mean, lots of state superior medals. So a huge, important part of the team, and we will definitely miss him and Gianna and our other senior, John Abrahamson. Thanks for coming out. It has been a great year. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I think that was 10:31.
Our final activity that we're going to take a look at this afternoon is volleyball. Our volleyball team returned nearly everybody from the previous season, and it was fun to see them gel together and become a very well-rounded team. From quality serving that put pressure on the opposing team to stellar back row defense and a variety of girls who could dent the floor with their attacks, this team was fun to watch. Of particular note, the love for each other shown with the celebrations on the court and the bench area is something I will remember for a long time. Here to talk about the volleyball season is Coach Swanson.
Oh, thank you. Okay, can you hear me? Is this good? Yes? No? Like that? Is that better? Okay. All right. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Anna Swanson. I've had the privilege of serving as the varsity volleyball coach here at GPL for now my 3rd year. So from early this past summer, I could tell that this upcoming season was going to be a special one. We had a lot of seniors who put in a lot of work over their past 4 years, and it's really cool to see them get so much success. I'm privileged to coach so many girls that love this sport and their teammates, girls who have put hours of time and effort into this sport. This year, both our team and individuals in our program were able to make so many memorable accomplishments. As a team, we had some big challenges in front of us. You've heard a lot of other coaches talk about the jump from Class B to Class A. It's no different for our situation. And we had a string of playoff wins leading up to this year. So this year we were able to achieve that playoff victory at the next level at Class A. So it's now our 5th year in a row as a volleyball program winning a playoff game. So those girls definitely rose to that challenge in playing some better competition. Let's see. We knew that our first playoff game would be one of the ones that would prove more challenging to us. And something that really helps us is we incorporate a lot of Class A teams on our schedule already. So we were able to learn from some games that maybe didn't go so well, some games where we did play really tough competition and come out stronger on the other end. I truly believe that our team got better after every game and was playing some of their best volleyball by the end of the season, so they should be really proud of that. In addition to amazing team accomplishments, such as winning that Class A playoff game, finishing second in conference, and obtaining another winning record of 18 wins and 13 losses, a lot of players on the team individually were able to obtain some of their own amazing career milestones. A number of players were able to place themselves on both our single season and career record lists for GPL volleyball. We've had multiple girls that had record-breaking seasons. So I'm going to highlight a few, so if you could stand when I mention you, that would be great, and then we'll clap at the end. So senior Ellie Charleman, our libero, capped off her volleyball career. Where's Ellie? Stand. Stand. Thank you. She capped off her volleyball career with her 1,000th career dig, as well as having the second most digs in GPL history. Senior Mally York was an offensive force to be reckoned with and ended her season with the 3rd most kills in school history. Ellie, stay standing. What are you doing? Stand up. Okay. Senior Olivia Giovanatone also achieved a career milestone with her 1,000th career assist this season. And finally, senior Bryn Holman was also able to have her name now at the top of 2 statistical records. So she is the leader in blocks and kills for our school. So let's give these girls a round of applause. All right, you're good. Another aspect that made this season really unique and memorable was the amazing leadership from our upperclassmen. Their encouragement, support, and really coaching the younger players gave the newer members of the program something really memorable. I couldn't believe at our last playoff game at Hamlin how invested some of the younger players were, how loud they were cheering for their teammates, and how much respect they had for the older players. So when you look back, seniors, on your years of GPL volleyball, this is something that goes past just a technical skill or a milestone that you may have had individually, so you have a lot to be proud of. As we end this season, we look forward to the future of GPL volleyball, specifically to the players that could one day be contributing at the varsity level. The JV and C team girls have come so far from the first time they stepped into this gym in August, and because of that hard work, they have contributed to the success of our program overall. So at this time, we're going to recognize those girls on the C and JV volleyball team, so you can please stand as I read your name, and then we'll clap when we're done. Caitlin Rayworts, Daisy Holloway, Myra Lentz, Stella Abrahamson, Paige Engels, Lydia Schleusner, Brooklyn Wolf, Madeline Prawl, Kaylee Carlson, Emma Dornbush, Ashley Richter, Estha Cameron, and Grace Powers. Nice job, ladies. As an instrumental part of that program's success, I'd also like to thank our JV coaches, Becca During, who's not here, but if Jacqueline Carley could please stand, we've appreciated her help. The success of both of our programs would not be possible, so we can clap for her as well. And I know we already thanked Cheryl Zach and embarrassed her, but I'd like her to stand as well. She has impacted so many girls, right now. So many girls at GPL, so many players have come through these doors and have been impacted by her. And it's just a tremendous blessing, and we will miss you so much. And finally, I'd like to thank our volleyball manager, freshman Elena Brumer. She can stand as well. She does a lot of behind-the-scenes work that would not allow our practices and games to run as smoothly if it weren't for her. So let's hear it for her as well. And finally, I'd also like to thank all of our fans. So that means players, students, faculty, members of the GPL community. I continue to be blown away by the hours that you drive to come to even our furthest games, all of the support that we've gotten from parents through team dinners, T-shirts that you've made for us. All those different things just made the season so memorable, so thank you. And then at this time, I'd like to recognize those on our 2021 varsity roster, so you can stand as I read your names. Brooke Lamley, Sammy Bendix, Olivia Holman, Kim Goins, Kyrie Roberts, Olivia Giovanatone, Ellie Charleman, Mally York, Jenna Lindemann, and Bryn Holman. Oh. As I announce the volleyball awards for this season, I'd like to start with, you guys can sit down if you want, yeah. I'd like to start with recognizing those who received all-conference honors. These girls were voted into all-conference teams by other ECC coaches due to their performance throughout the season. On first team all-conference was senior Bryn Holman and senior Olivia Giovanatone. And on second team was Mally York. And additionally, Bryn Holman has led conference voting now for the second year in a row. So she was given the honor of all-conference MVP for the second time in a row. So I don't think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the only other person in GPL school history to win all-conference MVP was senior Sarah Werner 2 years ago in 2019, and now Bryn has won it twice, so we can hear it for her as well. All right. So the next 5 awards are given based on voting done by the players and assessment of the coaching staff. So the first award that I'm going to give tonight goes to 2 players, actually, and it highlights players who have made tremendous strides and have most improved on our team. So the award highlights the work that they've done during the season, in the off season. The first girl getting this award just about tripled her offensive output from last season to this season. She not only grew as a player, but as a leader. Over her past 4 years on varsity, she's become a game changer, whether it's digging in the back row, slamming the ball down on offense, or being her teammates' biggest fan. I'm so proud of the player that this young lady has turned into. The other girl getting this award has made amazing strides within this singular season. She used to be someone that wanted to let the offense run through other people, and by the end of the year, she was actively calling for the ball to come to her, trusting in the progress that she made. True improvement comes from always seeking to get better and then following through on that. Both of these girls embody that mentality. So the awards for most improved go to seniors Mally York and Jenna Lindemann. All right, the following award highlights an extremely gifted defensive player on our team. So defense is something we spend a lot of time in practice, but something that rarely maybe gets the recognition it definitely deserves. The consistency that all our defensive players offered was absolutely imperative to our team's success. However, one girl was able to control the back row defense. She came always focused, always hungry to win, and always willing to do whatever was asked of her. One of her best games this season was at Castlewood, and she was facing some of the toughest hitters we saw all year. I remember calling a timeout, and I pulled her aside, and I said, "You're just going to have to cover more ground than you ever had before." And she understood the level that she had to rise to, and she executed. I'm so proud to have a libero on our team that other teams and coaches are jealous of, and we'll miss her so much next year. The award for defensive MVP goes to senior Ellie Charleman. The next award is on the flip side of that, is a girl who is our most valuable offensive threat throughout the season. This player is one that other teams and coaches remember. This year, she was able to improve her offensive game even more than the previous year, which is not an easy task. She improved both her hitting and kill percentages so much from last season, which comes from all the hard work she put in during the offseason. She was able to add so much offensive variety to her repertoire and was able to score in a number of different ways, always keeping the defense on their toes. She broke the school record this year for most career kills in school history, and she also has the record for most kills in a single season. She's one of the best offensive players to ever walk through our doors here at GPL. So I'm proud to give the award for offensive MVP to senior Bryn Holman. The next award is called the Panther Award, which you heard Mr. Haugley talk about earlier. It goes to an athlete who displays amazing Christian leadership, encourages her teammates no matter the circumstances. This sort of consistent leadership is hard to maintain throughout a long season, and it can be hard to continue being a positive presence when games aren't going well and other challenges arise. This girl is a great example of what every coach wants a teammate to look like. No matter if this girl was on the court and in the game or on the bench, she always provided priceless support to her team. Even if she made a mistake, she didn't let that hold herself or the team back. This sort of enthusiasm and team mindset definitely had a ripple effect on our entire team. Her work ethic and positive attitude is contagious, so this year's Panther Award goes to senior Brooke Lamley. And finally, the last award of the evening goes to the team's most valuable player. When teammates and coaches think about this title, we recognize somebody who makes the team better every moment she's on the court. This girl serves as our floor captain, so she never comes off the court, unless she dives for a ball, getting blood on her uniform, which results in a 15-minute rule check about uniforms. This situation, like so many other moments in this past season, is emblematic of the type of player that she is. So many times I'd be watching film and just would be blown away by how many rallies she was able to keep alive. Our team relied on this girl to do a lot, and she never wavered. With the offense we ran this year, she had to sacrifice a lot of personal records and achievements for the betterment of the team. She never questioned or complained because more than anything, she wants to win. That drive and determination was also seen in her fight to overcome a season-altering injury from her junior year. She was able to regain her strength, play with confidence despite the possible fear of another injury. This girl was a continuous rock for us every game, and I hope this award can show the girl just how much her teammates and coach value her presence on the court. This year's award for Most Valuable Player goes to senior Olivia Giovanatone. And just to wrap up my time with you, I'd like just to extend one final thanks for people that helped our season be one to remember. So thank you.
Just a reminder, at the conclusion of this, if you received a trophy or a plaque, we'll take a big group picture over there as well for all of the activities. Just want to finish the evening with a couple of thank yous in general. The first one from the athletic director mindset that I get to enjoy here at school is for everybody that helped in any capacity this fall for any of the games, whether it was varsity games, all the way down to the junior high football games, the chain gangs, the line judges, the people that kept books, people in the concession stands. It takes a village for a school our size to put on such quality events. And whether it's something that's very public and obvious or whether it's the most obscure, obscene little thing behind the scenes, I'm so appreciative of all the people that step forward to make GPL activities happen. And it happens here, it happens at the stadium, and all different places. And so I'm very appreciative. So I know they're not all here tonight, but can we give one round of applause for everybody that makes activities happen? We don't get to do this enough, but we need to thank Carla. Carla does so many things for our school, but when it comes to transportation for activities, I don't know if she was happy or not that she didn't have to drive to Sunshine Bible 2.5+ hours away, but she drives almost everywhere else. And aside from all the other things that she does. So thanks to her and also to Mr. Bauer for toting our teams all over this part of the world this fall. Thanks for the transportation. If you came to an event this fall, you noticed something new, something that we had not done before, and that was our event program cover. This was an idea that we generated spring into early summer this school year, last school year or so, and we made it happen before the first activity. So it was almost amazing how as we reached out to entities in the community and outside of the Watertown community that support GPL, the amount of support from different groups and businesses and entities that said, yeah, I want to be a part of this. It was really well done, put together in a very professional way, printed on really good paper, and it was really a thing that just is another example of improving the overall game experience and activity experience that we have here at GPL. So one big round of applause for all of our sponsors that make that possible. The coaches echoed this before, and I'll repeat it. It's amazing to see the level of support that we have, from the student section to the parents that drive hours upon hours to come to these games. It's just one of the greatest unique factors of GPL activities. So parents, thank you for coming and supporting your children through their activities. Thank you for supporting their teammates. As an athletic director, when I talk to other peers at meetings and such, I don't have to deal with a lot of the same problems that others do because of you, of the parents, of the support system, of the awesome student section. I thought our cheering this fall was as good as I could remember. If you went to the playoff volleyball game in Hamlin, your ears might still be ringing. If you watched the game online, I know that the volume from our student section was going right at the camera. I literally got an email from the opposing athletic director the morning after saying, wow. So thank you in general for all the support for our students. Go ahead. Yeah. And last but certainly not least, thank you to our Lord and Savior that makes anything here possible. The ministry that we get to do here is a privilege. Thank you for partnering with us, parents, as we have an opportunity to work with your student athletes. And as we look forward to Christmas just around the corner, let's remember everything that we have here at GPL because of our Lord and Savior. And so from all of us at GPL, I know you heard it earlier, but have a very blessed Christmas and God's blessings to you. Thanks for coming this evening. Award